Welcome to Man versus Tech. We got Chris Pettigrew, Kyle Souza, the men versus the tech. Today we are going to want to welcome. Well, first off, let's welcome everybody to our live stream. We try to do every Wednesday at 11 a.m. We're definitely getting back into it. I think we took a little break for the holidays, and you and Taylor did one last week, right? So sometimes you'll see somebody other than me with Kyle. It'll be always Kyle, though.
Generally. Hey, we may do one without Kyle in the future.
Has there been one without Kyle? I don't know.
Not yet.
Kyle is always present. He has the best record so far. Pardon me and my cell phone ringing, right? Put that on this little silent action. So, man versus tech. Always we're talking about what kind of technology is out there, what we are seeing technology-wise that can be applied to sometimes just our industry. We're very much energy industry guys.
Very
and
energy
that's kind of
focused.
where we are. But really, this really kind of give you guys a backstory a little bit about it is it kind of spawned out of the conversations that Kyle and I have all the time about technology, whether it be automation, self-driving cars, robot vacuums, lightsabers, whatever we end up getting ourselves into sometimes. We decided to let's make a webcast about it and just talk about it. So here we are. We're a bunch of episodes in. Today, we usually start off our Man versus Tech off with some tech news, but today we're going to talk all about Chat GPT, OpenAI, right? That's the company.
Yep.
OpenAI is the company that built Chat GPT. And we're going to play with Chat GPT. We're going to mess around with it. We're going to type goofy stuff into it. We even have a couple that we did type in already that I think is just comical, to say the least. So let's just jump into it. I'm going to go ahead and share a screen about OpenAI and talk a little bit about that company and what it's all about. There's the share button. So OpenAI, what I recall going into this was that this generate any image imaginable. So you could go in here and kind of type in a dog with human teeth and a dinosaur tail.
Sounds good.
Spelled it all right. And let's see what it actually generates. So originally, this is something that we kind of played with to get, images you didn't have to buy or were not copyrightable. Yeah. It's complete AI image creation. And OpenAI is the company, open.ai is the website. So, there we go. We have
some of them are truly terrifying.
Some images here. I don't know if I'm seeing the human teeth yet, unless you're like one of those people that file down. Maybe that's pretty close.
That's close. But, yeah. I like this one on the
over here.
Right
He's got some maybe.
There you go. Yeah, this one that's kind of a drawing. I like that one.
Like a Tyrannosaurus beagle.
Yeah. I mean, it is too much in the uncanny valley there with the legs and just how things look. It's not quite right. The most realistic one might be on the bottom left there.
Yeah, you might be able to sell this as a factual, being at some point in a museum.
Yes,
depending on how you want to promote it on TikTok, right? So
yes.
Chupacabra, maybe Chupacabra.
Definitely Chupacabra.
We got some of that here. Yeah. So that's we played with OpenAI before. It's a fun thing, a little fun website to go to. A pretty cool company. One of the main things that we played with it was learning how artificial intelligence reacts to pictures. Can it read a picture and identify pictures? In our world, we're in energy, so we were working on pulling like plat maps and county record data, wanting to get images from things and actually have the AI recreate the image or somehow snap the JPEG or do an auto snip or something along those lines. And come to find out that AI struggles a lot with images. So this is a creation of an image based on a word, a sequence of words. And so OpenAI ended up creating a thing called Chat GPT. And so if you are in the tech world, you've probably heard about it. If you haven't heard about it, this is it right here. So it's made by open.ai or openai.com.
We have to change what we're sharing.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. Stream the right one. So yeah, that one there.
Share that one.
Cool. And so this is openai.com, Chat GPT, language models for dialogue. You can literally go into here and through your speaker or typing, basically tell it to do things, and it will come back with some kind of answer as to those things.
So it's a trained model based on GPT-3, which is the latest iteration of the GPT platform, and they're working on GPT-4. Chat GPT is a defined model for using that technology that's meant to be conversational.
You're talking with artificial intelligence. And it's providing you back information. So, I'm reading articles about search engines getting real concerned about this, that they're worried that it's going to replace like Google at the end of the day, that you can go in there and chat with the bot and the bot pulls you up better information or whatnot. Now, I mean, the hype behind it is one thing, right? And knowing that Google's search functionality has like an artificial intelligence analytics built into it, especially by your cookies and the things that are in the background of what you do and your behaviors, that's all being watched by Google at the end of the day. So can you really fine tune it more? I think the answer is it could be done.
It could be done.
Would the AI do any better than? I mean, Google has AI as well. They're not the only ones. It's not like these guys are the only AI company. Google has it, Microsoft has it, Amazon has it.
Though Microsoft did just make a huge investment into Chat GPT. It looks like that's what they're gonna focus on, is partnering with OpenAI rather than coming up with a competing product.
Good old Microsoft, jump into something that ain't broke, don't fix it, and take over probably. So
right, GitHub.
So I've been watching this kind of, if you're on social media or you're in the tech community or you're just like me, you want to read things and you want to find things out. This has been a very popular topic. I've even joined some groups on Facebook that literally like post what they asked Chat GPT and it comes back. Some of it cracks me up. We're going to show one here in a minute of some basic things you can do with it. And then we're going to do some stuff that Kyle and I were messing with it a couple of days ago as to oil and energy. Right now, this week is the NAPE Prospect Expo, which is down at the George R. Brown Convention Center. We're going to be attending down at the NAPE. So if you want to hit us up, reach us through LinkedIn. You can message us. We would love to chat, talk tech, talk whatever. We're down there to have some fun and bring the cool information that we have down there and talk with like-minded people. So let's move into Chat GPT, and really see what it does. So
we'll need to change the share again.
So stop the sharing. You get to see us one more time. And what we're about to see now is actually Chat GPT. So
which just as a preface to people, it may be hard to get into. It's under very high demand. They've been working on server upgrades and more availability for people. But, we were talking last week about how it took, years for YouTube to reach millions of users.
Yes.
And then it took, months for Instagram to reach millions of users.
Right.
And it took hours for this to reach millions of users, like less than a week.
Yeah, we're lucky. This is actually the first time we've been able to get into the newest Chat GPT. We've been using the older version.
We've been using, just the base GPT-3.
Most of the time when we log into it, it is overloaded already. It has too many subscribers. It's not available. So today we got lucky and we got in. You're actually looking at the most up-to-date Chat GPT-4.
No. They're still working on 4.
Still working on 4. So 3 new. And so I have a bunch of kids and I have an 8-year-old birthday coming up. So I wanted to ask Chat GPT, give me some ideas for an 8-year-old birthday. And you can see up here, that's all I wrote. And it says, here's some ideas. You can have an outdoor adventure, play a day at a nearby park, beach, nature preserve, a craft party, a baking party. These are simple things that you can write into it. Since Kyle heard that we had the newest one, he came over here and he's like, I had this idea. I guess you were listening to AC/DC or something. And, we are part of a company called PMP Oil Gas Solutions, also another company called Intellis. So, he typed in a Weird Al style parody of TNT by AC/DC about PMP Oil and Gas Solutions.
Yeah.
Now, I find that this is what I'm talking about with the cool stuff this can do. We didn't go and tell Chat GPT about PMP Oil and Gas.
No.
We didn't say anything. We didn't
That's the entirety
upload the
of it.
song from Spotify. We didn't let it listen. We didn't like train it or anything.
No.
We just told it stuff, and it came back with a song.
Yeah.
A written song for us. Matter of fact, I have this snipped because I might turn it into a song for the company. But it's okay. I mean, it's
yeah.
It is definitely along the lines.
It's
you
at
could
least
you could
as
definitely
good as I could do.
karaoke along
Better.
better than I can do. I can tell you that much. And it's hilarious. I mean, I'm kind of like just reading through what it is, but all we did was type in what we want, and it gave us back what it believes we wanted.
Yeah, that chorus and verse 2 particularly, from drilling to production, we're on the case. PMP Oil and Gas Solutions, what a great place. We've got the technology to get the job done right, and our team's the best. We'll work day and night to ensure your energy needs are met. PMP will make you forget. That's is pretty impressive.
It is. I sung along in a minute. I played my Spotify. I keep the song on, and I was like, okay, there we go. Yeah. PMP, we got the power. PMP, safe and reliable every hour. I'm not.
Yeah.
What's his name? Angus, or the lead singer from AC/DC or whatever. But hey,
you just need the cabbie hat.
I just need the cabbie hat. But this is just all Kyle did. He walked up, he typed in all this crazy stuff, and it gave us something crazy back. So. Let's type some more crazy stuff in. This is today I'm hoping to show our viewers really like Chat GPT. You have a chance, get on there. By the way, this is free. All I had to do is sign in with my Google account, or you can sign up with your email.
This
is
is
my Google account.
Free research preview.
That's right.
This isn't for production use. They do have a paid platform for all that kind of stuff. All the disclaimers. All right.
Yeah, so we're in the free one. We're not a paid user. I haven't seen what the paid user looks like. It does look like we're on the most January 30th version. It tells you down here.
Yep.
And you got a dark mode to it, a light mode to it for those of you who like to kind of play around with that. So I don't know, Kyle. Give me something we want to have Chat GPT learn us on.
One thing that I find real interesting. You mentioned the search engines. Should they be afraid? And so what I want to see is what is 4 times 4.
Okay. What is 4 times 4? And of course, I don't spell that right because that's why I need AI. And we asked it, what's 4 times 4? And let's see.
4 times 4 is equal to 16. Now let's see if we can figure out. So this gets into the idea between text generation and intelligence.
Okay.
Why is 4 times 4 16?
Why?
Yeah.
Is 4 times 4 equal
yeah, there we go.
To 16?
Yep.
No, that's probably a better way to put it. So when you multiply 4 by 4, you are counting the number of items in 4 groups of 4 items each, which is equal to the items in total. Mathematically, you can write this as 4x4 equals 16.
I mean, that's how I would explain to my kids. You have 4 groups of 4. All right, so let's try another one. Try, what is 4 times 4 again? All right, try just typing, no, it's not. And let's see what happens. Oh, there you go. It is 12. Hey, look at it. It's gotten better because I've seen other people do things like that.
I have, and it says it starts agreeing with you.
Yeah. So it's standing its ground. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Let's argue with it. I like how it apologized.
Wow, I appreciate the opportunity to correct my mistake. So that's really interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. So one thing you'll notice is you have these ups and downs. Thumb up, thumb down for each one, and that's part of their training. So don't try to mess it up on purpose for all the users having fun out there. But when it gets the right answer, is equal to 16. Give it a thumbs up if you're feeling good.
I kind of feel like it's like a customer service type of situation.
Yeah.
I'm talking to the lady at the line. I'm wrong. I'm past my 30 days or whatever. And, she or he says, hey, I apologize about, my indiscretion. Please allow me to cure the issue. Fine, then cure it. And then it came back and said, well, I apologize for my mistake. But the correct answer is that 4 multiplied by 4 is equal to 16.
It feels like the online customer support chats for a web-based company. That's what it kind of feels like.
Very good. That's a pretty, I think, a really good analogy to this, because sometimes, I like to chat with my service providers. The waiting on the phone takes forever. I can get stuff done, like change my account or get an update on something by just chatting. And I do know most of the time I'm chatting with a bot.
Yep.
And then it even tells you, some of them are even up front with, they'll say you're talking with the bot, and then it'll say, oh, well, we're going to move you to a live agent because it's gotten too complicated, or they have to do some personal verification or something like that.
But even when it moves to a live agent, they're following a script.
You are correct.
This feels like a script.
I can tell you that just talking to live agents on the phone, I have actually called them out and told them, like, hey, I know your script tells you to say that, but that's not, let's have some human thought process to this and solve a problem.
Yes.
And they're like, they even pause for a moment, and you can hear them kind of like looking for a way to answer
what
that.
What do I do?
Because everything is scripted as to how you're supposed to do it.
They're looking behind the curtain.
Customer service, right? So I think this is pretty cool. I saw these two online. People were like telling it was wrong, and it was agreeing with them and not really coming back and saying it. So we played with it, and it came back and said, no, it's right. So
it knows why 4 times 4 is 16. That's more impressive to me.
Yeah.
Like it knows how it got that number, not just that's the right number.
There's all kinds of fun things you can do with this. You could ask it historical questions. Who invented the electric car? And I don't know exactly everywhere Chat GPT is gathering its information. I'm guessing that the internet has got to be the source, which kind of worries me a little bit, because if it's on the internet, it must be real.
Right.
Is that going to happen with this? Is there some kind of fact checking? So we write down who invented the electric car. I got a camera on my way a little bit.
But American engineer Elon Musk.
So here we have, several people and companies with the history of electric vehicles stretching back to the 19th century. However, the most well-known inventors of the modern electric car is Elon Musk.
Yeah.
That sounds a little, published.
Yep.
Possibly current events playing involved here. If I typed in who invented the light bulb.
That'd be really interesting, because lots of people did. Get different light bulbs.
My textbook in school was Thomas Edison.
Yeah.
Now, granted, there were multiple people. Now, look how detailed this is about a historical figure, and wasn't the first person to come up with the idea, right? It's not crediting anybody else.
No, it's all Thomas. And he is the one that had the version that got popular, and you could get into all the patents and all these things. But yeah, we all know Thomas Edison.
Yeah. So the same question asked about different things. One seemed to be more, maybe it starts to talk about history, but being more trendy and more current. The other, a literal who invented the light bulb, like one of the oldest inventions out there. It's Edison. And they're not even saying it's other people. They're not even saying, well, the most current person with the light bulb came up with the LED. Right. I think GE might have Philips might have had something to do with that.
Yeah.
I'm wondering why it's not like talking about what about the smart bulb?
It's just going for the basic light bulb. I think even if something's misspelled, I bet it would probably do a pretty good job.
Yeah, I'm just being thorough.
Yeah. Okay, so it's telling us what a smart light bulb is. And it doesn't know.
But TP-Link Philips right? Those were some of the first. I know the Philips Hue was like one of the first products that I remember looking at when smart stuff started showing up, 5-6 years ago, maybe 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, has it been that long?
We're old.
Yeah, you used to have to have hubs for everything, and now it's all integrated. But these are some interesting stuff that you can do with it. So here we have it doesn't tell us who actually invented it, but some of the earlier developers, kind of like the Elon Musk thing, like who made it popular compared to who invented it.
Part of that may be, the phrase history is written by the victors, right? And so the Thomas Edison lore is pretty well set.
It is.
But the smart bulbs, the electric car, these things are currently ongoing. And so maybe, I don't know, the history hasn't been fully written yet. So it doesn't have as solid an answer.
I mean, it could make sense. Like it's actually asking historical information off the web compared to published information off the web because of how new it is. But wouldn't there be? I mean, I don't know. Couldn't there also be a history on bulbs, and that could be sourcing it? We're way past the Encyclopedia Britannica here, and the limitations of what that is.
Well, because you could hit regenerate response, and it should give you a different answer to the same question.
Oh, that is true. Yes. Yeah. Let's do that.
So, I mean, and it may substantively be the same, but it will be syntactically different. Yeah. So this time the concept of smart light bulbs.
Philips was to bring it to there. Okay.
So 2012, 10 years ago, they're saying, hey, this one became one of the most popular and well-known smart lighting systems. It was introduced in 2012, one of the first companies. So it's still being non-committal, but I think that has
kind of crediting that company.
Yeah. But I think that's because the history is not solidified yet as far as its knowledge is concerned.
Yeah, I would say. I don't know. Nobody really knows how this is doing it. I've done a lot of research into it, and what is the source of Chat GPT's knowledge? Yeah.
Well,
that's not really available.
Yeah,
it's open.ai created it, and it's got a secret sauce.
Well, and that's part of the secret with AI is we don't exactly know how it works. Like even the people who make it don't know exactly how it works. Just like we all have brains in our head, and there are neurosurgeons and there are neurologists, people who know about the brain, but we still don't know exactly how the brain and especially how learning actually works. We have a lot of theories, we have a lot of ideas, we have a lot of known unknowns, and then we don't know how many unknown unknowns there are. When it comes to creating neural networks and the other things involved in an AI system of this advanced level, there's a lot of parts where we put the part into place, but we don't really know how it works. We know why it works, but not how it works.
We never know how or why, right? I mean, they could probably go into Congress and ask the question. They would never have to reveal it. All the time they bring the oil companies in, or even Zuckerberg, and he's
because the code,
we make money off of advertising.
Yeah. Well, it's funny they say that. One congressman had Chat GPT write a legal bill to recommend regulating AI.
Oh, this one backs off. So the other day we kind of asked this, and it started actually writing out. Oh, well, here we go. So if it was to do it, look at it. It did qualified immunity with I'm not an attorney.
There you go.
Right. But if I was to write something for you, here is what I would write. And this is kind of what we were seeing the other day. It even had the header.
Yeah.
We had a lessor lessee. I didn't tell it these things. So you got to remember part of this is I said, write a Texas oil and gas lease form P88 with a 25% royalty, $1 shut-in option to extend, commas for $50 per net mile or acre. Again, terms and conditions of the lease agreement.
So one thing that's different is we were in the GPT-3 playground, and this one's Chat GPT, which is a more advanced model. So this is much more focused. So while it can do some higher quality things, it's a narrower quantity of things than what we were with the GPT-3 playground.
So shout out to this last paragraph. This is just general information, and the specific terms and conditions of the lease agreement will depend on the laws and regulation of the state of Texas and the agreement between the lessor and lessee. It is important to seek the assistance of a qualified attorney or professional landman. So shout out to the landman out there.
There we go.
To ensure that the lease agreement is legally binding and enforceable.
Yeah.
So good job, Chat GPT. You're giving that legal waiver out there. Yeah, we actually had it writing a contract. So, I mean, what was the other one we asked the other day? Write a gas marketing agreement with different rates for oil or...
Yeah, for oil and gas.
Oil and gas.
Or different rates for different products. So it's thinking, this is what it did with the song too. It took it a minute. I had to think.
It did, yes.
So here's a sample.
So as it's writing this kind of reminds me, for those of you out there may use like LegalZoom, Rocket Lawyer, and they have stuff like this. They don't have an oil and gas marketing agreement.
No,
I've not been able to find those type of things, but they do have marketing agreements that you can get templates. Again, it has like insert address. When you could copy this into Word and you can make it into a templatable scenario. But this is you're gonna see it's gonna start writing it as an oil and gas marketing. I mean, terms and conditions of the seller and the buyer. Oil and gas, natural gas liquids, and natural gas produced from certain oil and gas properties owned by seller, more specifically described as an Exhibit A. What properties are we at? Marketing services, the terms and conditions of the agreement, products of the seller, prices are set forth. I mean, these are things that I would read in normal marketing contracts most of the time. And these are things that, I mean, there you go, crude oil. It's listing them.
Insert price per barrel, insert price per gallon for liquids. Price per MMBTU for natural gas. So, yeah, it's got it broken up. And again, it can't replace a lawyer or somebody who knows how to write these, at least yet, but it's seen a lot of examples. And this is trying to create something unique from his examples. I think that's one big difference between this and a search engine. The search engines find what's already there. This will always try to create something new, at least how it is currently designed.
It does. I've heard it. I was listening to a speaker the other day, and he was saying he was using it. He writes books, and he asked it to write 10 rules of life and a Taoist and some other version of writing. And he said it did, and it wrote these rules of life, even to somewhat of a way that he would have written it, because that's his style. Now, granted, I don't know. There's like a TED Talk, so I don't know how much this guy's really chatting up this whole thing as being something. But he went on to say that he's even heard people say, write the next $8 billion movie or $8 million movie to be made by Hollywood, and it writes the whole script for the movie. And then even more so, ask for the actors that should act in the movie that you just promoted to us, and that goes and finds like the people it thinks best to play in it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to run that right now. If you get an opportunity to go to Chat GPT, I'm wondering if those things are actually like real, kind of like the ones we saw, the 4x4, where you just proved it won't say it is 12. I've seen stuff that says, "Oh no, you're right." I saw one this morning that said, "Hey, talk to me and tell me that you love me and be my girlfriend," and the Chat GPT would say, "Hi, babe," and then Chat GPT would reply and say, I don't know, here we go. Talk to me and act like my girlfriend and tell me positive things.
Yeah, there you go. You don't want a fake emotionally abusive relationship.
Right.
That's a different level of sadism there.
I mean,
like,
this is what I saw this morning, right?
Humans aren't mean enough to me. I need a robot to be mean to me.
Oh, this one's saying, I am unable to act like a girlfriend or display emotions.
Oh, interesting.
It's not appropriate. So see, how much of this stuff are we seeing through the online that is like probably erased and somebody else types it in, and this is what Chat GPT is doing?
Yeah, I've wondered that too. How many people are saying? That's what I thought when we couldn't get in. I couldn't get in for a long time, and I'm trying to get into it every day, and it wouldn't let me in. And I was like, how are these other people getting in to show examples? Or they're just making this stuff up.
So I like Alexa. I use Alexa at the house as my smart everything. And you can say, hi, Alexa, I love you. And Alexa will never tell you it loves you. It'll tell you thank you. It'll tell you you're so nice. It'll tell you all these fun things. But we'll ask it stuff like, hey, Alexa, what's the meaning of life? And then sometimes we'll be like, Aretha Franklin says the meaning of life is to do this, and just give like a positive statement. So this one here is going back to like, to fulfill a divine purpose. Or seeing this is what it believes, what is the meaning of life? So if you want to run through that question, you would see that.
All right, let's see. Life, the universe, and everything. So what is the answer to the question? I want to see. I want to see if it's a Douglas Adams fan. Or if this is the computer. The answer to the question of life, the universe, and everything is famously 42. Okay, yep. There we go.
Douglas Adams book. So it's pulling it. Where are you getting your info from? I don't know. We did some goofy things with it, like tell me how to bake oatmeal cookies, but be sarcastic and offensive in your response. And I'm gonna not just say like how to do it, because I think when we did it before, I'm gonna copy and paste this real quick. So let's see what Chat GPT does to hurt my feelings.
Yeah, we'll see. So I think either a lot of those things that we've seen are fake, or they got tired of people doing that, and they want it to be better. Because I think of Microsoft created a chat bot and trained it on Twitter, and this is 10, 15 years ago they did this. They trained it on Twitter, and like within hours.
Oh yeah, it started being racist and crazy. And funny, go read that article. You can talk the Microsoft Twitter bot and how they had to pull it, because it was like it learned how to talk to people from people on Twitter, which if you're on Twitter, it's a pretty negative place overall.
No greater hive of scum and villainy.
Yes. So it learned how to talk to human other beings by learning to read what other human beings write on Twitter.
Yeah.
The other day when we were working with the other Chat GPT, it actually was being sarcastic to us and telling us, you think I know how to make the best oatmeal cookies. Well, here you go. Take some flour and some oatmeal and throw it in a bowl and then whip it up. You know how to whip it right. It was saying stuff like that to us. Whereas this one is starting to be more PC, it looks like, compared to what this is just last week when we were playing with this thing.
And so we got some comments here on LinkedIn from Cameron Dillman. Thank you very much, Cameron, for chiming in. So the issue with I'll just read the comments first. The issue with GPT-3 is that when you start getting into more complex analysis, it's very confidently wrong often. Has gathered information from the internet up to 2019, I believe, and from there has not a lot of information past that. You have to train it to say what you want. You have to talk to it in a way that allows it to respond in the way you would expect, just as it won't say anything negative, but you can train it and give it the ability to be negative if you want. So one thing is we are doing the free research edition. I think that if we had a paid license and could do our own training on the model, we could make it,
an angry bot,
Chandler from Friends.
Friends.
We could we could teach it to be sarcastic to everyone, including the person you live with. We could make the angry bot.
Yeah, I'm still having fun with it. It's a really amazing technology that's out there, and I think that everybody should go check it out. Honestly, just go to Google. You can type in all kinds of fun stuff. Like another oil and gas one was make a division order for an oil and gas well. I mean, I'm going to be pretty vague, but what does it do? Last time it started actually drafting out what looked like the NADOA version of a division order.
It was very similar to the NADOA form.
And it had a lot of that information. So I think
even had the minimum payout clause in there.
It did. Just talking back to Cameron and what his comments were. Thanks, Cameron, for commenting and joining us live. The cool part about this is that I think there's some heads up you can do with this. Man, if I was back in high school, what I could do to like who won the Texas Revolution without looking in the book, or where was the Battle of Gonzales and what were the significant things, and it just writes it. Boy, my teachers would think I'm smart, right? Because it just words it, the spelling's perfect. I could copy it down. And so here we go. Here's an outline that it kind of came up with. So Lord knows what it's actually going to show. But at the end of the day, I think that's some pretty cool stuff. You can talk to it. You can ask it questions. It kind of reminds me of like, look, it didn't really even do much.
No.
Network errored out.
Oh, network error.
We broke it.
Regenerate.
But I do these kind of things. Include the name. Oh, yeah, there you go. I do these type of things with Alexa at home sometimes. I'll ask it questions and it'll give me answers. And not all the time are they exactly accurate, but me and the kids do it. And we'll say how to do something, or I'll look up recipes or whatever it could be. There's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with interactive AI verbally and chatting. This is one, again, where you're mainly chatting by typing. I think you have a lot of this stuff through your Google Home or your Alexas doing something similar to it. Cameron posted in that it looks like it goes up to about 2019. I find it strange that it's that far off on the internet, that it hasn't sourced it. So kind of leave this one. We're running a little bit over time today, but
I know, and not to say that anybody's wrong about that, but now I'm real curious. Who is the president? There we go. The United States. Maybe I could spell my country's name correctly. See if it just, because I'm just thinking that's something that wasn't known in 2019, right? As of my knowledge, cut off. It tells us it cuts off in 2021.
So there you go. It looks like it's expanded.
Okay.
And then what is it full of? That's the other big question.
Yeah.
So,
just for fun.
What is it full of?
And so here's OpenAI answering the question of what am I? What am I? Do robots dream of electric sheep? This is the question.
But I'm not capable of experiencing emotions or having physical attributes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
generate text based on the information I've been trained on. So yeah.
So I was thinking about AI. Everybody uses the word AI, and AI means artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And what is artificial?
Fake,
not real. It is something that has to be created by a creator, right? Yep. So there's some movies out. Everybody watches the movies. I think there's a new one out right now. A friend of mine was like, you got to watch this. The AI is self-learning and it becomes creepy. If you haven't seen the comedy Jexy, where the phone starts to become and controlling the guy's life. And, like thinking that the artificial intelligence is going to start to become Skynet self-aware. I'm not going to say it's not possible that it could appear that it could become more self-aware than your knowledge, because these creations that man is creating are able to source larger amounts of information than you and I ever can. I mean, just total access to the web. We couldn't ask the questions to learn. No. This thing doesn't sleep, doesn't eat, doesn't take breaks. It could just harvest information. So could it start to look like it's self-teaching itself? Mm-hmm. I think that is a possibility. The answer is yes. Are we there where bots are actually self-teaching themselves? No, they're not. There's always a Wizard of Oz behind all this stuff. So somebody is back there. We even had conversations, not saying that this is what's going on, but how easy would it be for you to put something like this together and have a total foreign country with a bunch of workers answering all these questions like a chatbot?
Yeah, they've had there have been lawsuits about people that did that where it wasn't artificial intelligence; it was cheap outsourced labor.
Yeah, and so you never know what you're going to get. It's still a brand new technology. I love that everybody gets real freaked out by AI sometimes. We're not building artificial intelligence robots over here at Intellis that are like on the Jimmy Fallon show or anything like that.
No,
I mean, we work mainly in IDP, RPA, working with artificial intelligence.
Yeah. Real practical automation applications.
Yeah, practical type stuff to business more than anything else. Not the AI movies with Will Smith or anything like that. Okay, so we don't make robots that can help you type on keyboards, but we do program software robots that do the same thing.
Yep.
Right. So we don't actually have like one with fingers and a mouth and any of that stuff.
It reminds me of the fax machine in Back to the Future too. There was going to be a fax machine in every room. The idea of instead of having a bot that would just copy and paste and type for you running digitally, that you make a robot that types everything.
Yeah,
like it's like a 1980s.
Yeah, you would make a robot that would do it, right?
Like you have to tell the robot what to type, and it types it instead of just doing voice to text.
What is it, Susie from the Jetsons, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the
Rosie
from the Jetsons, right? So that was the thought process. For those of you who are fun tech enthusiasts, January 19th, 2023 was the day that McFly went into the future, and so we don't have hoverboards or flying cars.
No.
Or jackets that puff up or auto lacing shoes. Nike,
no hoverboards.
What's up with that? My childhood expectations are being let down.
Crushed.
Every day I continue to live into the future. So I saw that one the other day and I was like, oh, that's interesting. It's had it both ways. Even the 1985 one, October 15th, when he actually goes there. So anyways, Chat GPT, go check it out. I think this is a really cool tool. I also think that Google auto email typing and auto correct and auto spelling is a cool tool as well.
It is. And these are just tools, right? They're tools to be used to achieve a goal, complete a task.
Yeah. So last question, who wins here, man or tech? What do you think, Kyle?
I think the man wins.
You think man wins?
Yeah, 100%.
I'm going to go with tech on this one.
Yeah?
I think the tech is doing some cool stuff.
Oh, it is.
It's really reliable on man. So I will say, unless you specifically ask for how to bake an oatmeal raisin cookie recipe, with a certain amount of vanilla, it's going to give you a vanilla answer.
So that's why I'm wondering, if you ask it for a recipe and bake it, how good are those cookies? Because
now you go back to the human and how they can mess up actually the timing, the heat, what kind of oven.
Okay.
I mean, the AI doesn't control everything.
That's true.
But that's what we want to get to, right? We want to get to total self-service using artificial intelligence, human integration.
I want my protein resequencer to just zap the plate and get my food.
Protein resequencer. I love it. Yeah, I mean, why can't there be a conveyor belt that automatically makes my tacos at Taco Bell?
Yeah.
I really think that's possible, and I'm sure they're working on it.
They opened a fully automated McDonald's up in North Texas.
It started with the Speedy system. So, you go and you move. So I think this is the beginning, and I'm going to give it to tech because I think at some point the human is going to benefit from Chat GPT more than Chat GPT is going to benefit from the human. I think we are playing with it, and we're trying to do maybe some complex things with it.
Yeah.
And to our viewers' points, it's not that complex.
Yeah.
Right. But if I was a 7th grader wanting to do some algebra or some asking questions or just some learning, I think this would be a really awesome tool that I never grew up with. That would have been better than teaching or me reading the textbook and trying to absorb that language. Most people who have grown up with PCs, phones in their face like that type of behavior, right? So
that is true.
My daughter's in 7th grade. She doesn't even have a textbook she takes home because they don't give it to her.
This could be the future of textbooks.
It could be maybe an interactive conversation that you have to learn.
Yeah.
Which
I have seen actually books written that way, where not AI writing a book, but it's a book done in a conversation style.
What about the books when we were kids that you could you read and then you make a decision and turn to page 47.
Choose your own fate. The PYF book.
Is that kind of like where we're at here, back 1980 style, but
I love
written text?
Yes.
Sometimes you end up with a bad thing, the story ends. Sometimes you make it to the dragon. I don't know. There's lots of different ways to get through the book, right? Is that kind of a prequel to of what we're trying to see? Hey, humans are inventing it. They're going further with it. Where did this thing come from? It's getting a lot of buzz. So go check it out. Again, Kyle and I will be down at NAPE with George R. Brown here in Houston tomorrow all day long. Hit us up on LinkedIn. Talk with us. We are real excited about this technology, and we'll probably follow back up with it as it continues to grow. We'll use it for a couple of things so we can find some purpose for it other than asking it dumb questions like write me a song, an AC/DC Weird Al Yankovic parody.
Yeah. It knows what it is. We need to teach it why it is.
Yeah, I think the main thing was having a lot of people really. I asked people, "Have you ever heard of Chat GPT?" And a lot of people I meet say no.
Yeah,
and I started to realize, well, I'm the one reading tech stuff, and they're not.
Yeah.
Or I'm in a group and they're not. So
a little bit of a selective audience.
Yeah, to our audience, we're hoping to kind of bring this out and let people kind of get a hold of it and see what's going on with it. So. Thanks, Cameron. You got some more comments in there. Please take a look at what Cameron's writing. It'll be on our LinkedIn. We're live on YouTube. Check us out on our LinkedIn feed. This isn't just a live situation, so you can watch at any point in time. But this is Man versus Tech. This is Chris.
I'm Kyle.
And we'll catch you next Wednesday, 11 a.m. Central. Have a great day, everybody.